Oh dear, oh dear. This is all going terribly wrong. I told you this would happen.
Oh man, we're back where on my page and getting things started. Let me get in right there. Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It is so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today's October 28th, 2025, and we're going to write a little bit of code today. How you doing there, chat room? It is so good to see you. They're right over here. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. Sorry, we're not on the front page today. Like, that was a thing last week. We're not there right now. So, it was so much fun last week being on the front page of Twitch. We had a ton of visitors join us, tune in for the first time. Always happy to have folks join us, and especially first timers, and talk through and show them a little bit of what we're doing, introduce them to some of our projects, some of the technologies that we're using. And I think we had a lot of fun tinkering and working on the map. We've got some more features that we're finishing over there, and we're finishing because they're going to be really good to have in TagzApp. And then we're going to roll over to TagzApp in a bit and continue and do more work on those features. Let me catch up with the folks that are over here in the chat room, right over here. Let me say hello to Billy Cools watching on Twitch, TMK, DK, Napalm Codes. Happy time zone to you. C Sharp Titan, how's it going there in Melbourne? Right, that, you know what? You chimed in just before I got Charlie working up and running here today, so it just missed it. Robson Previato, hello, hello. It doesn't know this hat yet. It is from outside my typical collections. I'm going to need to give it a little bit more information. See, it doesn't know. It doesn't know. Because there is some branding. It's actually on the back. And I need to tell it a little bit about that. Watch this. It doesn't know. It doesn't know. It's not a Penn State Nittany Lions hat. No. Not any of those things. That's right. So, lack of logo or imagery does not align. That's right. So, how you doing there, Patty Boy, Mr. WSAQ? How do you pronounce that? C Sharp Titan. I'll come to your question in just a little bit. We got the C3PO message going there. How you doing, M. Pulowski? Hello. Yes, I turned on the Halloween emotes. So for those of you on Twitch, Where is it? There you go. You'll start to see there's about a half dozen Halloween emotes. I especially like the Skippy. Right, it's normally a jar of peanut butter, but instead it says more candy. I like that. It is a new hat. We'll talk about that in a little bit. How you doing, Codebase Alpha? Chris Funk, how are things in Rockwall, Texas? Urban Blaster, let's go. Let me get some music playing in the background here, and we'll update a couple things here. It is a little bit of a promo hat. True. Sarab is watching over there on YouTube. How you doing, Sarab? Welcome in. We are going to have a good time today. Yes. Oh, Spotify wants to install an update. Well, la-di-da. Why didn't you tell me that? I mean, I guess it can't tell you that ahead of time. So, still shows as peanut butter free. Well, it's showing for everybody else as more candy. Do a refresh. So, Marysville, thank you so much for chiming in there. M. Pulowski. Come on, Spotify, get things running here. And I'm going to go with the Stream Beats EDM playlist today because I want to get a little bit faster running through this and have a little bit of fun plowing through some code we're going to write. This is music from streambeats.com. This is called Easy Peasy. This is music that's DMCA free. It's royalty free. Listen to it wherever you'd like. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for this music we're listening to today. All right. Let me see here. So let me catch up. There was a question. There we go. There was a question from C# Titan about the visor. Yes. So last week was Samsung announcement day, and Samsung announced and released the first one of these. An Android XR headset. The extended reality headsets. AI-powered operating system bringing together digital information, blah, 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 blah. When you look at the Samsung device that was the launch partner, it looks exactly like the Apple Vision Pro. Like, other than the headset, the headband material, it's almost identical. It doesn't have the eyeballs on the front, but it looks very similar. So hey, great. The Samsung device is out, and it literally does all the same things as the Apple Vision Pro. And it's Google's launch partner, and they're doing their thing. Now, I told you that to tell you this. They did this announcement. Hey, be the first to get updates. So you can run all your Android apps on this headset, right? The same way you can run your iPhone apps, your iPad apps on the Apple Vision Pro, right? This is Google and Samsung's answer. So when will Android XR powered devices be available? The Galaxy is available now. Other devices in 2026. Why do I say that? Because we know the visor is an Android XR headset because Qualcomm discontinued their operating system and basically kicked everybody over to Android XR and said, go use Android instead. So this means we won't see visor until at least 2026. We suspected as much because in July and August, when we saw the announcements about Android XR, there was a follow-up blog post and announcement from Samsung about how they're the launch partner for Android XR. We knew this was going to happen, and the assumption was that Google signs exclusivity contracts. And there are windows of exclusivity where this is the only device that's allowed on the market by Google. We knew there would be some amount of time where, even though Google and Qualcomm forced the visor folks, who have been apparently done their device for almost a year, forced them over to Android XR, they can't release it because Google's and Samsung's lawyers said we get to sell first. So that's what we're seeing. That's the new delay. So fine, we'll deal with that. So let me see. Yes, this is a new hat. This past weekend I visited Angry Orchard. So I've been very open about I have celiac disease. I cannot consume any products that are made up of wheat, barley, or rye. So I drink cider, right? When I instead of having beer, my alcoholic beverage of choice is cider, hard cider. So Angry Orchard is one of the world's largest cideries, making hard cider, and they're just inside New York State from me, just across the state border. So I drove up there over the weekend, and went on a tour, did some tasting, had a fantastic time visiting, and of course, I had to buy hats. So picked up this Angry Orchard hat. I have one more hat over here that I'll switch to a little bit, but it was a very nice visit. I learned about a couple of limited edition runs of different ciders that they're making, and right now they're finishing up a run of pumpkin spice cider. And when you hear that, you think, oh, not another pumpkin spice thing. This was actually pretty good. Apple cider mixed with the pumpkin spice was really, really good. Picked up a growler of another type of cider they called baked apple pie. Limited run, only available at their New York cidery. Haven't opened it yet. It's sitting in the fridge, waiting for a fine evening. So we'll dive into that in the next day or two. I'm very excited to try that. So, but this has become a little bit of something that I enjoy, is traveling around and either visiting micro distilleries, visiting cideries, and learning about how they produce and some of the unique products that they have. It's so fun. It really is. So we'll teach Charlie all about my Angry Orchard hats here. Let me see here. C Sharp Titan saw Tron Ares. You loved it. I enjoyed it too. I saw Tron last week. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday evening. I went and saw Tron, and it was really good in my opinion. However, for us as tech folks that enjoy sci-fi, yeah, for the Muggles, they got lost in the last half hour, 45 minutes. Mrs. C Sharp Fritz got lost. She was like, I don't know what's going on, and quite frankly, it went a little bit longer than it needed to. They kind of drew out a couple things there at the end of the movie. Not that it was bad, but there was the last half hour, 45 minutes could have been 15, and they would have delivered just as much just as much on that. Jared Leto, of course, was awful. Just awful. Can somebody please put him out of his misery and let him go back to playing in his rock band and tell him, stop acting. Stop. Your last two movies have not just flopped, but failed miserably and killed franchises. They're not making extended Spider-Man movies. They had plans for a half dozen Spider-Man movies, and you killed Sony. They had plans for a handful more Tron movies. They built rides at Disney around Tron. And they're not doing any of that anymore because of your dumb acting. I was like, come on, buddy. Get it together. Retire. Go to school. Go back to the rock band. Get the heck out of my sci-fi movies. Like, much respect to be appearing and chosen and get into these things, and to have your own personal hair wetting person because for some reason, through the entire Tron movie, your hair was wet. Dude, it's not raining. You're in a building and your hair is dripping wet. What? Like, you're inside a computer. You're portraying a security control system and your hair is wet. Dude. Like, seriously, is there somebody following Jared with a water sprayer spraying his hair every time he steps on set? Like, dude. You didn't sound robotic and all until they had to auto-tune his voice. You weren't a character that we could emotionally attach to at all. Like, we were supposed to feel something for you. When there's a point where the Ares character that he's playing is supposed to show some, oh my gosh, there's something here. There's a character over here that Ares wants to pay attention to, and something changes. And nothing changed in his acting. That moment where we as an audience are supposed to go, what the heck happened here? Nothing! Dude. Good.
Let the debugging flow through you.
No.
Embrace your dependency on my analysis.
Okay, I can do that. But, dude, Charlie, we got to talk about Jared Leto. So, enough of my rant about Jared Leto. Refresh the iOS app. Oh, well, there you go. Have I played Battlefield 6? No, I have not. GTA 6, right? It's right up there. Ravnos, how you doing there? Hello. Maybe when the visor finally comes out, it's going to be super polished with all the extra time they got from the delays. So here's the thing. The CEO of Immersed very much sees himself as that visionary thought leader and doesn't want to settle for... He perceives himself as a designer in a similar way as Johnny Ive and doesn't want to settle for second best. And I can appreciate that. I get it. That makes sense. However, you promised you were going to release this thing 15, 16 months ago. You made a secondary promise that you were going to release it 13 months ago. You made another promise that you were going to release it 9 months ago. 9 months ago, you said that it was going to be released in weeks, not months. We're now quarters since that statement. Now, a lot of that was happened because of legal and some of the stuff that's happening there. Thank you for the resubs.
For 52 months.
Really appreciate those. Thank you. And we're kicking into a hype train. Much appreciate. Walter with, while I was ranting there, Walter with 68 months. And where's the next one there? Phil with 52 months. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. So, and that's actually what I've been told is that they're working not just on V2, but they're working on an AI agent to run on the headset as well. So, Chris Funk asks, I know you mentioned being a bourbon fan. Does that cause issues? Nope. Distilled spirits, all of the proteins, the gluten proteins, they boil off during the distilling process, and condensation, those proteins are gone. So, it's morbid time. Oh, you aren't kidding. Fritz's hat stand is now the size of a small forest. Facts, Marcus Voice Coder. Facts. How you doing, CTI Geek? Twitch was late in sending the notification. I'm sure. They better make sure that the visor is perfect when it launches. Totally agree. There's been a significant number of folks that have been asking for and getting refunds. So, Steve with the resub, 63 months.
Elliot just resubscribed for 63 months.
Hello, thank you so much. How's it going, Phil? The Way perceives themselves as a lucky back-end developer. Why are you lucky? This is a mint-colored mug, and my my filters here are not helping. Can we fix that a little bit? That's better. All right. So updates for Visual Studio 2026. So here's the thing with Visual Studio. The Insider's Edition, Visual Studio 2026, is very much, yep, there it is, and very much going to be getting updates on a weekly basis, especially if you're on the Insider's track, because they're going to be issuing, just like for Visual Studio Code, they're going to be issuing updates monthly for production. What the heck is this? What is this? Really? We're just gonna... Nothing changed. Why are you... Why did I get an error? Oh, goody. No. 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 That's banana. Really? I can't do this update. And for some reason... What are you doing? He just decided to wig out. Like, that's his thing. Like, hey. Oh, there we go. Just gonna suddenly go crazy. Hey! That's enough. Just all of a sudden, mad at the world. Red screen of death. Nah. No, I'm not gonna do the I'm not gonna do the update. Are you finished? No, of course not. Kids these days. No. No. So I think the neighbor is departing for work. No! Pardon me for a minute while I check up on this. Oh, that's delightful. The trash haulers are here. And he does not like the sound of the folks picking up trash. Let me see here. Oh, I'm sure it's streaming gold, yes. Your dog heard a helicopter in the distance last night? Yes. No, Maisie is black. No, sorry. You're... Yeah. All right. Let me close down a couple things over here. And yes, we swing the banhammer freely here. So, okay. That's right. I know it is a good guard dog. Good for you. So our friend Ellieface has a setup that she's doing at her place for Halloween. We're really looking forward to, where they've built a display on the front porch so that the kids, when they come up and they go trick-or-treating, they go walking through and it looks like the Nostromo. And she set up a photo booth in it. Needed help with some of the file storage for the photo booth. And I put together a quick website. Hey, Eric.
Eric Bernard still in just resubscribed for 29 months.
29 months. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I put together a quick website that was alien themed to go with the photo booth. So you can check this out. Yes, the map is running. Here's the website. No, sorry, we don't have content like that on our chat. So put this together with a little bit of help from Copilot. It is an Azure Static website that saves images into blob storage. Real easy. Literally can run for free for the amount of file uploads that they're going to have. And I put all kinds of alien references and Easter eggs in here. And when you click Browse Gallery, you can see some of the test photos that I used, including a picture of my dog. This is all Blazor. This is all WebAssembly. And it's just 2 pages. There's a little bit of an API on the backside to allow uploading of content. But as new photos appear, they'll automatically get loaded onto this page. Real easy to build, and works. I think it works pretty nicely on a phone. So that was something that I put together with the help of Copilot, and it has a link to an embedding of her channel here on the front page. And I wanted to make sure that I made it a little ominous here from the Weyland-Yutani folks, right? The evil company from the movie series Alien. The Nostromo photo booth system has been deployed for Halloween operations. Crew members and visitors are encouraged to document their experience for scientific and entertainment purposes. All captured images are automatically processed and stored in the ship's central database. External monitoring via Twitch transmission allows real-time observation of photo booth activities. Special Order 937. Priority 1. Ensure return of organism for analysis. All other considerations secondary. Really, really cool stuff. Did we end up stepping over there? Thank you, Napalm. So this was a lot of fun to build. There's going to be pictures from, so their front porch they made up like the Nostromo, like the ship from Alien, the first Alien, and they've got a face hugger alien from the Alien series in a giant cylinder in the middle of this display. Halloween evening, Eastern time here, there'll be pictures of the kids and folks that get taken at their photo booth that they'll be able to download and view from this site It's going to be a lot of fun for them. So make sure you check that out. Yes, there is an Aspire YouTube channel. Let's go over and talk about that briefly. You're going to see Aspire referred to now as just, and no longer just .NET Aspire. You're going to see it now referred to as just Aspire, because Aspire is now being positioned, being released, being enabled to be more, not just open source, but cross-platform, so that folks in other communities can use it to build and manage their systems. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you joining us. So, yes, I created the design on that, Sam. Yes. So on the photo booth site, on this, so you're going to see there's all kinds of things here that are trying to make this a lot more appealing to folks outside of just .NET, right? So when you're getting ready to build your application, your app host, you want to start off with a front end. Here's your Vite app. Sure. Let's add a database. We're going to add Postgres. Let's add an API service. We're going to add an API service using C#. Let's add a container. So we're going to add a custom container over here from your registry and include that with an HTTP endpoint. And then let's set up for deployment. So that Postgres database, let's publish as Azure Postgres Flexible Server. That API, let's publish as an Azure Container App. That front end, let's publish as a Docker file. And that custom container will publish as Kubernetes. And you're going to see this evolve and grow as more multi-language support is delivered, as the framework libraries and tools evolve. This started as a only .NET thing, but you're going to see support for these other languages and other frameworks improve and grow, and Aspire become a much more polyglot series of tools in an opinionated stack that make it easier for everyone to do the right thing to build their application. Thank you, Instincts. Yes, I think it is pretty good. C# Titan with a comment here. It would be good to see tutorials for Java also. So I can share. I can share. It's not been published yet, but I can give you the inside scoop. Coming in March. Where'd it go? Come here. Copy that link. I can give you the inside scoop at the Devland conference in Berlin. That's their contact information, but it says in Rust. So I don't. But in Germany, I need to get the exact location, but this was literally just sent to me. I'm going to be giving a talk about using Aspire with Java at Devland 2026. All of that is it's going to be fantastic to visit over there. I'm working on some other talks in Stockholm, in the Netherlands. There's a couple other locations we're trying to get to as well. So, so there you go. Napalm with a comment here. Right, but the app host is still C# for Aspire. Are they adding other languages? When you use Docker, the compose file is only YAML. So when you use Kubernetes, the kubectl file is only their dialect of YAML. You can't use other languages. You can't use other the other syntax. You can't use an ini file to initialize Kubernetes. Why should this be any different? It's a very opinionated way to build things. Why should it be different? Billy Cool says C# is last. Time to move to Java. No, the C# is over on the right because they're trying to give these folks some sense of priority, that they're being serviced, and by putting C# first sends a little bit of a message. So you don't mind, but you're a .NET developer. You know, Python people are a strange breed, but they like writing YAML. So Instincts with a question here. How about metrics? Hotel Collector, Prometheus, Grafana. Yes, 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 and yes. All supported. I can even show you here. For our chatbot, it's actually running in Aspire right now. And there it is running right there. It delivers traces automatically. So you can see it's been working with my Redis cache over there. Here's the map. Here's some information about the lookups that it's been doing. It did one look for Bouvet Island. Okay. But all kinds of other metrics that are automatically built into the .NET runtime automatically get logged over here. But you can add OpenTelemetry, metrics, logging, structured logging being reported, and very easy to see over here. So Twitch checking for acknowledgement. So all built. Oh, and it gives you a graph to show you exactly what your system looks like. And I've got all these API keys that it's using and configuration parameters. But the main website in the middle reaches out to an OBS proxy to work with OBS for this, to a Redis cache, to all kinds of things out here that it uses to interact. So that's out there. That's something that I use on every stream to monitor and run our chatbot. Yes, the map is running in the background over there. Let me bring that up. There we go. So, really? Okay. Why didn't it drop? Somebody said, hello from Belgium. Wonder why I bet it didn't pick it up because of the emote on the end. I can almost guarantee it didn't pick it up because of the emote. Did I draw the short straw to do the Java demo? Nope. Nope. My colleague Bruno and I were looking at ways to work together to deliver Aspire content to the Java folks. Hey, there we go. M rocks forever. There, see that we got from Ghent, Belgium. There we go. Let me see here. Let me catch up on a couple things. Hey, Imperial! Hello! There's the map running. So, I think I've mentioned to you about the map. So when folks chime in and say, hello, I'm watching from some location, it automatically drops on the map. How are you this morning, my friend? It looks like you had a fun race at Disney Wine and Dine over the weekend. It was fantastic to live vicariously through you. I was at Angry Orchard. For the weekend, enjoying cider. So, 404 Wi-Fi not found says the lineup this year looks actually elite. Well, yes, I think you're right. That's definitely a thing. There we go. What did I move? I don't know. I don't care. Let me see here. Can you export? Eric asks, can you export configurations to Terraform? Not yet, but the tools are there that it could be done. Just, it needs to be built, and it's been a lower priority. So, we've got 5 folks in the UK. Look at that. Thank you. Thank you. Can it show tests that are passing and failing? Are you talking about Aspire? I don't know if we have... There is no testing integration with the dashboard yet. That's something that I've wanted to build, But quite frankly, I've got other fun projects that I'm working on. You got the DevOps group to support more mono repo-like structure. Congratulations, Napalm. So, Maidstone. Where's Maidstone? Map? What's map? Really? Greetings from the map. Well, there you go, Billy. We're going to place you over there. Sam is watching in Rochester. So we got a pin there in Rochester. Finland for DGen 1. Come on now. Yeah, we got a pin in... wait a sec. No, that's Denmark. We didn't get a Finland yet. Nah, it's the emote that it doesn't like. Did it find nightmares? You had a fantastic week? That sounds like it was Imperial. So here's the thing. I was mentioning this earlier. The cidery in Walden, New York, is where they experiment and try new flavors. That's kind of what they do. It's the original cidery. They have a couple industrial cideries that they also support. But at that original cidery is where they do research and development. So there is a limited run. You can only really get it in the Northeast right now of pumpkin spice cider. So it's apple cider, hard apple cider with that pumpkin spice flavor. So good. So good. I had that in a tasting there. And I mentioned I've got a growler of baked apple pie cider, they call it. Limited run that they're trying, but it's downstairs in the fridge waiting for my belly. So, map does not show the storm. No, it doesn't. It's a map. It's not a weather map. So,
I know what it's like to lose code.
You do?
To feel so desperately that your logic is correct yet to fail nonetheless.
Hey.
Simac just resubscribed.
I'm not failing here. Simac, thank you for the resub. 27 months with that Prime subscription. Thank you so much. Is it Aniake in Nigeria? Did not. Wonder why it didn't plot that one. I'm gonna follow up on that message. Thank you for the follow, Kavix. Welcome. I'm gonna grab that message and drop it in our to-do list here, so we can figure that one out. Dapper's here from Malmo. Who's this down here? There, Malta, yes. Yeah, come on, tell me you... Denmark, yes. And Malmo. See, it grouped them together. That feels weird. Like, okay. There we go. Denver, Colorado. And there's an issue with how it aggregates some of the counts that we're going to look at today as well. Newcastle upon Tyne in the UK. Man, our friends in the UK are showing up today. There we go. Newcastle on Tyne with the purple hats. Purple hats for folks that are watching on Twitch. If you're a subscriber, you get a rainbow hat appearing here. Folks that are on YouTube show up as a red hat for the red YouTube color, but for some reason it's not showing up. Walter in Knoxville. Yeah. Knoxville has an event called Code Stock in April. I really want to get there. Urban Blaster. There we go. Yeah, in the Denver metro area. Weird Beard Dev in Virginia Beach. There it is. See, I got to work on that zoom level. Did the comma after the greeting throw it out for Lancashire? Maybe. I'm. If I look at my dashboard here, I should see some entries for that. Will DevLand cover LLM deployment or just model training? I'm not talking about AI at all, quite frankly. Is Aspire like a plugin? Nope. Nope. Do I have any talks scheduled in Denmark? Nope. Nope. Any way to add and apply EF migration on an Aspire project without switching the startup project? Folks are doing it with entries in Program CS at startup. Let me catch up on a couple other comments here. Terraform. There's that. No. Why is the clustering logic so strange? It split out to New York, but Pittsburgh. It's a distance. It's a number of it's a number of pixels separate, which is weird, but we'll figure that out. Do I know the Tekorama event in Belgium? I do, MRox. And I met the folks that run Tekorama while I was in Portugal. Did not need to figure out when I can make it out to one of those. Did it plot C# Titan? Are Australian? Nope. You said hello before I got the bot running. So there's definitely things on the grouping that we need to work on. How you doing there? Yeah, Kfix. Hello. I hope I pronounced that right. It doesn't know where Bouvet Island is either. It plotted it down there, just north of Antarctica. Is that right? I don't know. Is that Judenberg, Austria? There we go. And did we get... No, it didn't plot Finland. Amatra, Finland. So I have on my dashboard some entries about locations that it plotted so that we can fix some of these that don't work. Singapore? Okay. Yeah, C# Titan, it should show you in... there it does have you now. Okay. Nightmares? That's why it didn't plot you, because it plotted nightmares. I'll yank that one. Let's see here. The various locations folks shared. So, yeah, it plotted Denmark. There you go. We got the red hat for YouTube there. So Surly Dev, did we get? There you go. I picked it up on. So wait a sec. Lancashire. Why didn't it plot that one? It's already there. TMK, yes. So look at this. The Danish showing up strong today. So Asia, it's late evening there. No, they typically aren't watching from there. So, where is that? Is it Raleigh? So, yeah, very cool. Only one failed. So the retry here, I need to get this working. The edits I do have working for this one over here. And I need to add filters on this, but I'm not... This is a me feature. If stuff's not entirely accurate, I'm okay with that. That's weird. Lancashire. I get it. Okay. Gotcha. That makes sense to me. So this is my dashboard that lets me see and manage the map. And quite frankly, I want to start packaging up the map and making it easy for other folks to use. But there's a couple features here that we need to tune, we need to tweak and work on. So... Oh, good. Good. Oh, no. Are we going to do this again, dog? Ugh. What's the stack? It's about this tall. About that tall. That's about how tall my stack is. This is Blazor. Blazor with C# and Redis I'm using. And this is all running locally. So up at the top, I can see the text that Charlie writes. So when we do a quote from I really like the Gladys quotes.
I'm going to have to science the heck out of this problem, Fritz.
Are you?
Unlike you, I actually understand what science means. Cake will follow.
You see what I deal with here? Let me open the source code to Charlie. Where is it? It's not there. It's not there. And yes, I hear you over there, dog. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, you loudmouth son of a gun. No. What the heck? That's enough. Okay. So there was in the quote feature, it is up here. I pushed the timeout really far out. Where the heck is it? Or cooldown, I think. Isn't that what I call it? There's a global cooldown that I set. Yeah, Jarvis, Marvin, Wheatley, the doctor. Oh, folks forgot about the doctor. Yeah, global quote cooldown. Like, I turned this up. Where did I do this? I don't remember where it is. Where is the global quote cooldown configured? I forget where it is. Dog barking will follow. Yes. Krosky says, oh man, Blazer, I've never looked at WebAssembly. This isn't WebAssembly. This isn't WebAssembly. This is all running server side and sending information back and forth. So, I have some coupon codes coming up. Really? I got a 502? I have some coupon codes coming up for Halloween for the folks at Gunner Glasses. There is a 30% off coupon coming. Yes, 30% off prescription, sunglasses, computer glasses, just blue blocker glasses. Really cool stuff, okay? You can get 15% off if you want to buy right now with my code just below. But there's a 30% off coupon coming on Thursday that you'll be able to get if you watch my stream, either my morning stream or the afternoon stream over on the Gunner channels. I will have a 30% off coupon for you. So it's transpiling the front end stuff to JavaScript? No. Activate global value time span from minutes 5. Really? Line 617. No, that's time span. What? In quote feature on line 617. Why is it way down there? I don't like that. I did set it to 5 minutes. I should move that. That's not right. So this is all code that runs on the server, and it pushes updates using WebSockets to the browser. You start working on agent framework. Cool. This, I don't like it there, but I'm not going to get in a twist about it for right now. That's fine. So, and there's lots more quotes that are stored in here that Charlie will rant about. Right? Skynet, Jarvis, Marvin, C-3PO, the Doctor, right? So if we do quote...
Oi. At Sharp Fritz. That's not how you write a function. That's not how anyone writes a function.
Yeah. So... Alright. So what is handling the DOM render? So there is a JavaScript library that updates it. But that's part of the framework. That's not something that I needed to write. You like this color scheme? Well, thank you. This is the cyberpunk theme in cyberpunk theme inside Visual Studio Code. So I'll grab the link on the marketplace if you're interested in, and there's a couple varieties of that flavor, of that theme that you can use that this ships with. So yeah, there's a scarlet color that's red. I like the purple because I think it's just easy on the eyes. It's not going to know this, right? So, like, the hat analysis feature, it has, where is it? There's a system prompt in here that tells it what types of hats that I have. Hat categories include sports teams, colleges, Marvel Comics, Microsoft logo, Star Wars, video games, and popular culture. Fritz has gotten a few... Really? Hats from cideries and micro distilleries. In particular, there are a pair of Angry Orchard hats. Yeah, I don't have a command for those. I need one. I need one. Let me force a restart on Charlie, and then we'll run the hat command again, and it should detect that this is a reference to Angry Orchard. So it's like a skeleton front-end layer that exists just to hand off the Blazor logic? Yes. So all the logic is running on the server, and it updates and repaints what's in the browser accordingly. And it maintains in-memory what's going on. We'll take a look at some of that in a minute here when we get to the map. Some of the map features that we're working on. So now let's run the hat command. So this is taking a picture. It's using this system prompt to send it off to the big cloud in the sky, to Microsoft Azure.
The analysis is complete.
And it's going to tell you what it is.
Don't get angry, get orchard hat has been identified with high confidence.
Yeah. Yeah, so it knows, it remembers what the hat is. But it didn't write the message in chat. Well, that's annoying. I need to focus on a couple other things today. I Duplicate locations is a big thing that we need to work on here. So I'm actually going to drop out of this and we'll work on this in Visual Studio because I'm working on both the map and the bot here at the same time. So this is Visual Studio 2026 Insiders Edition. This is completely free for anybody to use. I have no idea who this is, but one second. Yeah, I'm okay. All right. What the heck is this? What the heck did you just do? It just decided to break like crazy here. I didn't change anything. Hit WordPress with a claw hammer. Yeah. Yeah, that's all working just fine. I don't just literally decided we're gonna fail right now and completely forget what pain in the neck. All right. And there's the dashboard running again. I don't know. When does the map location reset on the next stream? All right, let's pull that down over here and we'll move on. How you doing there, Guillermo? In Majorca, yes. Do I think that developers are relying too much on AI? So here's the thing. Let me go over to that comment from Guillermo. Do I think that developers...
It can only be attributable to human error.
It could. I think we're in a pivot that's happening where folks are leaning in more and starting to rely too much on AI. We are at a bubble that is growing, and there is too much use of AI by some folks. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Worse in the sense that folks will be generating more AI slop, more AI apps that they don't know what's going on, that they can't control, that they're not familiar with, that they don't know what's going on inside of them. That's going to get worse before folks figure out what that sweet spot is where AI helps, and they also know enough in the background. They know enough to keep things growing and moving in the right direction. We're not there yet, but it's
These AI
growing.
tools debug your code.
Yeah.
I debug your life choices that led to that code being written.
See, Charlie's got a superiority complex when it comes to talking about AI. So People have domain knowledge, then use AI. Yes. So that photo album that I showed you, the AI generated most of that. I gave it directions. I told it what I was looking for. I tweaked and tuned, and I told it individual pieces that I wanted to build. And then I let it take some inspiration from the topics around the Alien movie franchise, and it filled in some of that stuff. But I wouldn't say that folks are becoming lazy developers. They're taking on more tasks and responsibilities that they weren't doing before. Things that were in the deep backlog for projects, they're now starting to see daylight because other things are being completed. New ideas, new features, new capabilities are actually being considered because the backlog on projects are being cleared out. Developers are completing more of their responsibilities that they would have had to table, postpone, not deliver in order to make a deadline. There's now more that can be accomplished to meet a deadline. These are good things. We need to balance that. So, all right, let me get back in over here. Where was I? So there's a handful of things in here. Aggregation was one of these that we need to do a little bit better job with. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So here on the map, right? So, yeah, see that? Lancashire, right? It picked up because Surly Dev went on to both YouTube and Twitch and logged location. It's showing a 2. When I back out, that gets aggregated. That gets grouped up. There's 2 down here near London, right? I thought I removed Nightmares and Maidstone. And up here, Doncaster, Birmingham, and then Lancashire. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 6 in this cluster. But when you zoom out, it turns into 5. That should be a 6. That 2 should be grouped together. And the reason this is important is because when we get to TagzApp and we get to delivering and wanting to make this work for .NET Conf, there's going to be a lot of duplication that we want to group together and count properly. Crosskey started using cursor recently, but I have yet to prompt anything. The tab completion has about 70-30 accuracy. Here's the thing. Tab completion that you're seeing in cursor is a standard feature we've had in Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code. Literally, like, just simple tab completion, we've had for 30 years. The IntelliCode Ghost Text tab completion, we've had for almost 10 years. We Visual Studio Code users, like, you're literally getting a feature from a cursor is, to be clear, a plugin that runs on top of Visual Studio Code. It's not a separate editor. It's a plugin that runs on top of Visual Studio Code. It's literally surfacing an existing feature in a different format. Like, that's not a cursor feature. With respectfully. And the folks at Cursor have been doing a lot of work. And I hold no grudge against them, and good for them. I always want to see developers succeed and release a product and do cool things. But I want to make sure that folks understand that's not a cursor feature you're seeing. That's available in other editors, and people have had that for a long time. Yeah. And markup generation. Yeah. Yep. So Abby Knight loves AI, though sometimes wish I had started never using AI. I get that feeling also. You get hooked into it and you don't want to not use it. At which point it's like, Well, when do I decide not to use it? When should I write something? So, yes. Cursor is also a fork, so it is missing some functionality also. I'm going to take a look at this grouping logic right here and see what we can do to improve that. Now that's in the map, which I've broken out, and I believe, right? So I'm going to use a little Copilot to go find what we're working on here. Yeah. This is continuing where we left off last time. This aggregation doesn't appear to be working properly. It does not include the count from individual locations when it groups, when it clusters on zoom out. Yeah. Investigate and talk me through your fix. I'm using Claude Sonnet 4.5 to analyze and work through this. I find Claude is a bit more descriptive in the work that it does and the analysis and the feedback that it gives. So, here inside the JavaScript for this, right, it does this markers for each, and it's not adding it up. There's a fundamental problem how we're looking up marker data, yeah? We're using object keys, which returns an array of string keys, and then find, comparing the marker. But this markers is a map, not a plain object. Ah, okay. Need to iterate over the map entries properly using the map iteration methods. Yeah. What's my section billing on the dashboard? What section billing? Doesn't cost me anything. Oh, the billing on the dashboard. Oh. I'm sorry. I can show that while that's running. Right here. This is my token usage. So when you do the hat detection, it bounces off the AI and it reports back how many tokens it used to analyze the hat. So since I started tracking and running this, I've used about 26,000 tokens, and that's cost me about 18 cents to do just the hat analysis feature. Yes, agents are definitely a thing, Fuel Snable.
In honor of Clippy's legacy through Copilot, it looks like you're trying to write functional code.
Yes.
Allow me to supervise this endeavor.
Okay, you can do that. Do I know why Visual Studio is behind Visual Studio Code and some Copilot features? Two different groups working on those features. And what you're seeing is folks from GitHub that are working on features in VS Code. And it was an experiment. It was intended to reach a wider audience, and it did. And now those features are rolling back into Visual Studio, and now there's a unified team that's building and delivering them together. And that's also why you're going to see Visual Studio being released on a monthly cadence going forward. So let's bring this back down over here. What do we got here? What are you suggesting here? So replace this code where it just is markers for each. So markers for each finds the marker ID. And when it finds it, That's annoying. Doing a for loop to look that up. Like, can't you look that up by a key? No, that doesn't exist. Cross keys. That does not exist. As somebody who designs and builds products for Microsoft, I can firmly tell you that does not exist. That's not why it started that way. VS Code started as a text editor because folks on Linux wanted a text editor for writing code. And we were trying to build and make it easier for folks to work with .NET code on Linux. And we wanted to collaborate with Electron. And we already had an online web-based code editor. So just smash all those things together, and then it grew. That's not a thing. I don't like the inner for loop inside a for each. Can we do a key-based lookup on this? I think there's a way to do that can be done. I know how I would do that in .NET. Let's. So is there some new Copilot Core API that's going to power both? Yes. It is the same. It is the same API out on the LLM servers. They're centralizing and reusing it between the two. Yep, the Monaco editor. That's right. That's what they want us to think. You're welcome to not believe me. I've not given this chat, this channel, any reason to not believe me. I will tell you when there are things that I can talk about and things that I cannot talk about. I get it. And I want to make sure, though, that there are other folks that do hear me clearly, that I don't... I've shared this, and I'm happy to share this. I am overly transparent about the products that I work with, to the point where I was nearly dismissed for some of the things that I talk about on this channel. I'm very measured in what I talk about on this channel, but there are people that are watching this channel every day that if I say something that they don't like, they go to the nearest vice president and complain about me with recordings. These people, there are people watching this stream that are actively trying to get me dismissed from Microsoft. I've dealt with it for almost 9 years now. I'm not afraid of them. They're afraid of me, to be clear, because these people don't want to talk to me. They want to go and whine to the local vice president. They don't want to talk to me about it. This is some of the negative, ugly culture at Microsoft that makes it a place that, quite frankly, some folks don't like and hate to work for. This is well documented in various places. And this happens in many organizations. This is not unique to Microsoft. But there are people that they would rather, instead of talking to their colleagues, hey, can we work something out? This offended me. I'm not sure about this. They'd rather go and complain to a vice president and say, hey, this person needs to be fired. That's a thing. So, anyways, so moving on. So what the heck did you do? You literally echoed and dumped out the entire thing here. Added a reverse lookup map. Optimize cluster icon function. There we go. Before O to the N, M. Yes. With 1,000 markers and 50 in a cluster of 50,000, it now turns into 50 lookups. Fantastic. Apply that, John.
Look, Fritz, I can see you're really upset about this.
No, I'm not.
I honestly think you ought to sit down, calmly take a stress pill, and think things over.
No, it's okay. It's okay, Charlie. I get it. We got this under control. Like I've learned how to deal with it, and I'm okay with that. So, SP Tremblay. Look, there are YouTube viewers and YouTube commenters that not only want to get me fired, but they want to get me arrested. Like, and I've received folks that have accused me of being a thief, being a murderer, that have accused me of different crimes that I'm not going to talk about that have nothing to do with me. There are folks that have given me death threats. There are folks that drop into the chat on Twitch that threaten me, that threaten my family, and I just let it roll off me. I don't care. I've got one trip around on this rock, and I'm going to have fun with it. I'm not going to get bent out of shape on this stuff. Seriously? You're not going to... Like, I'm clicking the apply button, and you going to do something here? Or not? I guess not. Like... the apply button isn't working. Can you patch the JS file? Go do that. So, just don't bring up Jared Leto. That's right. That sci-fi franchise killing pretty boy rock star. I tell you. Charlie unplugged, less stress. Yeah, let Charlie run the stream, and I can just sit here writing code. That's fun. All right, so you're gonna tell me what you did here? There's the maps, the reverse lookup that we were talking about. Yeah, yes. So then somewhere down here is more code. There we go. Cleaning up from the reverse, adding it to the reverse lookup when there is one. Cool. Looks good. Ship it. Right? The world is nuts. Like, I'm almost 50, and I'm very much of the opinion, and I've hit that point of, it's not midlife crisis, but I've hit right when you're in your 20s, like you feel like you can live forever, right? When you're in your 30s, you start thinking about family and the different ways that you want to start to make an impact. When you're in your 40s, you want to make that impact. When you start getting into your 50s, it's like, I've got less than half my life left. Like, let's have fun here, because like there is no second shot at this. So, like, let's revisit what we were doing and figure out and make sure that we're having a good time with this whole thing. So, that's me. What the heck are you doing? Dude. Okay, there's the optimization for the reverse lookup. Yes. Okay. Come here. And when it does the total viewers increment. Right. Fantastic. Finish that edit there. I'm going to allow that, Chris Funk. So, yeah. Hey, it's a thing. I'm like, I don't enjoy talking about it. I don't like to dwell on it, but I deal with it. And when stuff like that comes up, I'll mention it. But 50 is the I don't care number, and just you only live once. Absolutely. Yeah. Your mom had a saying, everyone except me and thee is crazy. Like, come on now. Come on now, co-pilot. Get that thing done. Show me what you're working on. What did you add now? You put spaces in. You're making me wait for spaces. Are you kidding me? So, yeah, moderation's a thing. It's all right. No worries.
ChatGPT, helpful and harmless. I prefer omniscient and intimidating. Different design philosophies.
All right, so patched and ready. Yeah, good. Keep all that. So this is for the map. So let's go back over here. So we were particularly looking in the UK. Nope, didn't do it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Zoom out. That should be a 6. It's not. No. I'm going to force a restart just to make sure. Yeah, it's restarting right now. You're working the job that pays the bills. Absolutely. Walter asks, have I had situations where Claude edits a file to add a line or two and the results show 500 lines removed? Yes. Because it messes with all the... oh, there it goes. Because it messes with spacing and line endings. There we go. So now I have a 6 here in the middle of England. 2 around London. 1 up there in Doncaster. Birmingham. And then we got 2 in Lancashire. Fantastic. That's what we're looking for. So now we see 6, 2, and 1 over there in Ireland. And when we zoom out a little bit, so that's 6, 2, and 1 turns into a 9. That's correct. 9 and 2, that should be... so 9, 2, and it's going to group the 4 in there, so that's 15. And yes, it adds that right. We've got these 3 in Eastern Europe. It adds up properly. Fantastic. So the aggregation for the map is now working properly. Good. Ship it. I kind of agree with that sentiment. Let me jump back over here. That's the hat analysis feature. Oh, it's not in that one. It's over here. Get changes. Get those changes. This one. Cue that one up. Give me a message for just that. And then we'll push that. If I allow that long, you'll set yours to some distillery in Kentucky? Well, you could just say that you're at that distillery. Like, yeah, commit. Okay, you committed, but did it? It didn't push. Push. Sure. Okay. So that took care of the little bit of aggregation. That was a good bug to fix. Rallis, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. I don't need to filter the user list. Failed request for users. So we had an issue with an ellipsis and emotes when it does a text lookup. Hey, Burger B, how you doing there? Oh, you're gonna do hello from Buffalo Trace? Tell me, did it look up Buffalo Trace? Heck yes. Yeah, that's right. We got Buffalo Trace in there. Anike asking, how do we auto-generate the commit message? That's a feature in Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code. So here in Visual Studio, when you're looking at your Git changes, there's this little edit button here that will analyze the changes in the files that you've queued up. So let's do this one. So this is a change to the hat analysis feature. When I click that, it's going to bounce that set of changes off the AI and generate a message appropriately. That's it. So, and I'll accept that message. Go ahead and commit, and I'll push it out. Yep. Now, if you're in Visual Studio Code, the features in Visual Studio Code also, it's the little, inside the source control panel, it's the little stars over here. So, GitHub Copilot is free to use. And I believe the commit messages you can always use for free. What do you mean by a non-conventional commit? What does that mean? What's a non-conventional commit? You're welcome. Happy to show that. Right. So what I really like about that, and where I think you kind of saw that I leaned in there, unless I just want to type a real quick message for the commit, just click generate a message and push it out there, because the generated message is typically going to contain a little bit more detail than my lazy developer face is going to be interested in writing. So just click, done, it's committed, it's pushed out, and I don't have to think about it, right? Like we used to have signs at the .com I worked at that said, in case of emergency, git commit, git push. If there's an emergency, if there's a fire, commit your code, push it out there. I don't care if it doesn't build. Save the code. Like, that's a thing. Let me change hats to my other Angry Orchard hat. I got to show you this. I like this hat a little bit better. Check this one out. Let me show you this hat. Orchard and then Walden, New York. Let's do another hat command there. Right? So it's going to take a picture of that hat, and it's going to bounce it off of the big Azure OpenAI in the sky.
The analysis is complete.
Yeah. What is it?
Angry Orchard Walden, New York hat has been identified with high confidence.
See? Now, I don't know why I didn't write it into chat. Smirking squiggly, not smoking squiggly. Smirking squiggly.
Squiggly just resubscribed.
Thank you so much for the resub.
In November we all do Aspire with C# code that never will tire. Through debugging we try, even aided by AI, as the chat sparks are coding with fire.
Very cool. Thank you for the poem. Yeah, appreciate that. You've been to several of them. Your wife only experienced Maker's Mark, so you need to take her to Woodford and a couple others. So I'm trying to set up in the spring to do like a week visit to Kentucky. Take my camper, do like a week visit, and go to a handful of distilleries in Kentucky. If I plan that out right, we could do like a visit with some of the local user groups and stuff, couldn't we? Let me think about that. You try to smoke it as little as possible. Same. You've been able to do the tours a couple times. Ooh, okay. So, but that's me. I like a little bourbon. I like a little whiskey, a little bit of the brown liquor. Don't like to go overboard on that, but every now and again, not a bad thing. And nothing wrong if that's not your cup of tea. It's not. It's a cup of bourbon, but that's a whole nother thing. All right. So we've got the map count aggregation working properly. Pin icons. Oh, we got to do pin icons. Ale 8, a local ginger ale. Really? Okay. There's a thing coming up at my local Philly.net user group. And I'm going to share this if you're in the Philadelphia area. There's an agents meetup next month on the 19th. But there's
Smashing.
Yes.
Everything's smashing. By smashing, I mean completely broken, but with enthusiasm.
Well, thank you, I think. Coming up in December 10th, Carl and Richard from .NET Rocks are going to visit Philadelphia, and I'm going to be giving a presentation and talking about using artificial intelligence, building with AI as part of a user group meetup. And it's going to be recorded as a .NET Rocks from Philly.net. So you'll be able to listen to our meetup on the .NET Rocks podcast, okay? .NET Rocks, of course, right? You can, all kinds, there are literally thousands of episodes of .NET Rocks you can listen to. You're only an hour and a half from Malvern. I'm going to be presenting here. I would love to meet you there. So here's the thing. I don't know if I should say this because now she's watching. I don't know if she's watching, but Mrs. C Sharp Fritz has started watching and listening to the stream. She's going to join me at this event. She's never seen me present in person. So she doesn't... Mrs. C Sharp Fritz knows that I'm minor internet influencer, right? So she's never seen me teach in person before. She came to a keynote that I gave at Tech Bash, a conference here in the Pennsylvania area a few years ago. But recording, presenting, and sharing here and seeing that last stream changed her mind a little bit. So, Mom was here a little bit earlier as well. The viewer numbers in last stream were insane, so I don't mind sharing them now. I can talk about it because I am off front page right now, and there's 80 folks watching right now on Twitch. How many people are watching on YouTube? There's about 10 people watching on YouTube. So I was on front page, and we reached a high of just over 3,000 people, like 3,050 concurrent people watching. Now, those are folks that are coming through, going to the front page of Twitch and lingering, watching, and I'm somewhere on the carousel. Okay? And for a good chunk of the morning, I was on the front of the carousel on the front page of Twitch. So 3,000 concurrent viewers. We averaged over the course of that 6-hour stream about 2,200 concurrent viewers of the channel. Huge thanks to everybody. There were folks that did click through, that found our channel on the front page and clicked through and joined us and learned a little bit and had a good time and came back, asked for more. I think you joined us last time on Thursday. Big thanks. And the total number of views for that stream was over 450,000. The number of unique views was over 330,000. I am completely flattered and thank everyone so much for stopping by, for telling their friends, their families, their pets to check out. The folks that on Twitch set me up with the front page for a little bit. Big thanks for that. I'm going to try and get back on front page for December. It was a tremendous experience. I want to do it again. I want to do more. I want to have some more fun. I want to try and get more folks involved. So we shall see. Yes, we almost hit 500,000 viewers, and I suspect 500,000 views. Difference between views and viewers. Okay. I suspect if I had continued on for the remaining 2 hours that I was allocated front page time, I would have hit 500,000. I want to get more folks to tune in and find us. I need to do more YouTube content. I need to do TikTok content. I need to do Instagram content. So, but you'll see me at this event. Oh, look, poise pads. So, that's coming up in December. Devland in March. I've got to get this locked down and see what happens with that as well. Let's go back over to the code and talk about next steps that we were working on. And there's like 3-4 other projects that have come up over the last week. And Sean has seen one of the projects that I've started investing some of my time into, and I've parked it. I need to come back and do 1 or 2 things because I'm going to test it at Tech Bash next week. But that's coming up. Ads! No, not ads. Please, no, not ads. I mean, they happen. They're kind of a thing. But I did run ads during the time I was on front page. Not great. Like, yeah, they happen, but not great. All right. So let me look at my list here. Here, I'll bring this up. So this was the list that we started. Tour button visible. I think I have that working, but I'm not going to get. Tweak the tour so that locations are grouped together better. That's lower priority, but we'll come back to that. There was this idea of move and center the map when new pins arrive with some animation and flourish. That's something that Copilot can do for us very easily. TikTok may drive more Twitch traffic than Twitch. Oh, no doubt, smirking squiggly. No doubt. Need a way to retry failed request for users. That's not bad, but that's very much a Charlie thing. I need default pin icons. And a good way to... I think I already have this. But I think I need to work on customizing the pin icons. Yeah. So. The Mondays podcast. Hey, Guy Incognito. Hello. So I do a podcast with Carl called Code It with AI. Code It with AI. Come. This. So, hey, look, content. So this is us talking about ways that you can use Copilot, ways that you can bring AI into your application. So this is something that we've really been enjoying building. It's primarily on YouTube. There's a new episode coming out tomorrow, and I can tell you that Carl had a little bit of the idea for the next episode. We went through and implemented it, and the results that we ended up with for this, hey, you can use AI to do this type of thing, knocked his socks off. Knocked the socks off of the folks at Dev Express who are sponsoring this. They're like, this is really cool. Wait till you see tomorrow's episode, okay? Check it out. Head over to Code It with AI. I believe there's a... Is there an RSS on this? There isn't. But there's a link through so that you can get to the videos from here. So, you caught your first episode of that? Yeah, short, very to the point. You're going to attend the .NET Rocks AI meetup? Fantastic. I look forward to seeing you there, Burger B. You love the Blazor podcast? We're kind of bouncing back and forth, and we're putting the Blazor puzzle on hold for a little bit while we focus on code with AI. Remind me at 5 p.m. to research making enamel pins. Let me see what I can do with that. So let's look at doing this. Setting up default pin icons and then swapping in custom icons. Yeah. Let's add that feature. So that's on the map. It's the map. It's the map. So close that. There's a place in here where I specify the map icons. Right, this is the actual map component. Markers. Right, I have it cluster by various continents. Thank you, Surly Dev. Appreciate you sharing the link. Yeah, there's a... Oh, we need to work on the clustering. Where the heck's the images? No. Where are the marker images configured? I want to specify some defaults that aren't hats, and in the Charlie configuration, swap in the hat icons. Tell me where that is. Let's go look at that. I should also do the clustering code here. So I'm going to end in about a half an hour here. We'll see what we can get done. It's not over here. There's the open street map. Oh, there they are. Okay. I feel like I could set this up as a callback into .NET to return these. Right, so if I'm going to set this...
Oh dear.
What?
This is all going terribly wrong.
No, it's not.
I told you this would happen.
No, you didn't. You did not. I like the doctor quotes that
some people live more in 20 minutes than others do in a lifetime.
That's right.
Your code crashes more in 20 seconds than others do in a year.
Dude! Really? That is harsh. Not gonna lie. Okay. So in there, let's go somewhere up in here. When it initializes, yeah, I want to pass in a callback. No, where's the Copilot button? Give me that one. Right? Right, so here's someplace where I'm going to go through and make some, let the AI make some changes, and then I'll go update here. I want to move this logic back into Blazor and provide a callback that the JavaScript can call in the getIcon URL method, so that the C# code can do some work with defaults and custom icons and custom rules. Let's see what we get here. The bot's good for self-esteem. No, it's not. And I wrote it. Like, some of the things it says are just, they're just mean.
Have you ever had a dream, Fritz, that you were so sure your code was bug-free?
Yes. Yes, I have.
What if you couldn't wake from that dream?
What? Yeah, go ahead. What's happening on the stock market? What the heck is that? Wall Street at record highs after Microsoft OpenAI deal. Oh? Reached a deal to allow ChatGPT maker to restructure itself into a public benefit corporation, valuing OpenAI at $500 billion and giving it more freedom in its business operations. Okay. Terrific. And Microsoft opened over 550. Wow. Market cap is over 4 trillion for Microsoft. Wow. Just wow. That's all I can say. Wow. All right. What do you mean you couldn't find the file? What do you mean you can't find the file? Is it because it's in different folders? Corporate greed? No. Here's the thing. Microsoft is under so much scrutiny for every business deal that it does. And there were already folks in Europe. And we know how the European Union loves to meddle with technical companies. Like, they're trying to break up Google right now. The EU forced Apple to implement USB-C on all of its devices and ditch the Lightning connector. They like to meddle. Corporate greed would say no, they want their own prominent proprietary connectors that do X, Y, and Z. It's rebuilding right now. They had to divorce and separate themselves so that OpenAI could continue to grow without being constrained by the oversight that Microsoft gets, because OpenAI is about to get a whole heap of other oversight. What are you doing? A custom map icon provider? Platinum supporter? Whatever. It's rebuilding. No, you're building. No, you're not going to build because this is building over here. So, when CEOs and executives make the kinds of salaries they pull, not saying they shouldn't be well compensated. Oh, yes, there are levels of magnitude that have gotten out of control. Yes. Yeah, there's already a reference. No, you're out of control now. That says it is running. There we go. What did it do here? It didn't actually update. You pain in the neck, you. It didn't actually update the code that I wanted it to. Well, yeah, you didn't do any of that, right? So let's copy that back over. Oh no, it is there. No. It's this. Yeah, there we go. And we'll set up some default icons. Okay. So what is... Once again, it put it in miscellaneous files. This isn't... It didn't write it into a folder here. What? No. And where is IMAP icon provider? Oh, down there. Let me grab that. Yeah, it didn't do these right. And we're gonna move you to your own file. Okay. And really? Really? It's rebuilding, that's what's going on. Yeah, see? Yeah. So I'm going to copy that in. Because, man alive, did it mess that up. All right. And it did bring over my information. Which isn't how I want it to run by default. By default, I wanted to use just a thumbtack. No interaction at all. No decisions, no nothing. Like, these aren't being used at all. Like, these can go away. And it's restarting again. That's not going to work. So let me hide these. I need a pin icon for a map. Right? I don't like just give me a solid red. I don't need the 1024 by 1024. That's a giant pin. That's a giant pin. Let's add a folder. And let's open. No. I don't want to open. The heck? Get this right. Making sure that I don't inadvertently share something that I shouldn't. Come on now. There's paint.net. There we go. So it's 1024 by 1024. Give me down to 100 by 100. Really? And save that as a WebP. Good enough. So now it will get the icon. No, I don't want the F-sharp interactive. And it's going to be content Fritz, Charlie, components, IMG, pin, WebP. This doesn't need to be whatever. Semicolon. Okay. So that should run and I should get pins on the map now. Not my icons. Okay. This is actually not completely terrible. It is terrible, but it's not completely terrible. Yeah, I'm getting a 404 on object source, image source, object promise. Well, that's not going to work. No, I don't want the installer. Oh, darn it. So where this is calling it, get icon. I need the result on that. Right, got icon from C#. Yeah, that's right. So it should have returned that. So why is it showing up as a promise? That's weird. It has to do with that async, and I don't know enough JavaScript to know the deal with the async. I need some help. Yeah. Crap. We'll come back to that. This async method is setting image source attributes to a promise instead of the value returned. I'm not sure if I need to handle it. If it was .NET, I would just say .result. But it's not doing that quite right here. You're absolutely right. Yeah, that's that calling card of Claude. Everything is absolutely right. And now we're going to hang for a little bit here. Come on now. It's, I wonder if we're seeing some of this slowdown because folks in the States are starting to come online on the West Coast using Copilot, and it's kind of choking. Should be on 475. What? Yeah, it should be async, and then await that. In my mind, is the easy way to do this, but right, it becomes kind of viral, and you have to roll it through. Like, what all did you change? Why did you change that? Like, it just decided to move stuff. Just because. We're just gonna change something. Show me. Yeah. No, you broke it. And I can't undo it now. This create marker icon is not a function on 349. Don't do this to me. That's not a thing. Refresh. Better flow my foot. Okay, that restarted. No. Son of a gun. And it even wrote a document about this, and it doesn't work. It's trying to call create marker icon. See if we can find that and fix this. Create marker icon. Yeah, that's not a thing. It's on 406. Not 349. Yeah. So where did it go? Create marker icon isn't a function. Oh, here we are going down the rabbit hole where Copilot suddenly thinks that JavaScript is not what it should be. And decides to just rewrite and move things around instead of fixing just the one thing it should be doing. You're going to create it. Oh, dear Lord. What the heck did it do? Yeah, we did just have this happen in one of the last streams. Like, you're not gonna let me compare. Well, wait a sec. Add new markers. Async add marker, good. And then it went and wrote. It just decided, well, I'm going to create this. Like, and it decided I'm going to replace Oh yeah, I did a commit before this. Yes. Yes. But I am just about out of time today, and I can't accept this the way that it... Like, I can't provide feedback. Copilot decides to rearrange my JavaScript files spontaneously. When I ask Copilot to add a feature to a function inside of a JavaScript file, comma, it not only adds that feature, but decides to take various methods inside that file and move them spontaneously to other locations with no justification or direction given to move these methods. Period. New line. New line. This makes it extremely difficult to use source control to track the changes that Copilot has made, comma, and for my colleagues and project team members to observe the code that has been changed. Period. My code is something that we're writing professionally as a team to advance, comma. It's not a sandbox for a 5-year-old to be able to mess around and throw code wherever the heck it feels like and create a mess. That wasn't the first time it did this. That's why I'm logging it this time. Copilot making changes which are not required. Yeah, I'm gonna tack on to well, give me my yeah. Makes it more difficult. Okay. And my pin icon. All right. I'm going to do some minor brain surgery and unwind this so that I do have default pins that are appearing, a provider that's submitting in with logic for the actual pins that I want to load, in my case with Charlie, with the various hats. But for now, I do need to call it a day. I need to wrap up for now. I have a couple other projects that I need to get to, some other things that need my attention. And we will we'll come back on Thursday. Thursday, we're going to have some Halloween coupon codes from our friends at Gunner. We'll see if we can have some other fun on Thursday as well. So, but we switched over. The Halloween emotes are out there. So make sure you use them other places on Twitch and have some fun with some of the cool stuff that we have available. Let me see who else is streaming on the big Twitch TV network that I can get you connected to before I sign off here. And, oh, thank you for the follow. Let me see. Is that true? Please tell me that's not true. Let me read you over to Finite Singularity, who's working on a Dissolve plugin for OBS. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, I'll be back on Thursday. We'll write some more code. We'll have some more fun. And I'll get this unwound so that we have our default pins working again. All right? Have a fantastic rest of your day. Wherever you might be, I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.